Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Black History. I am your host, Tay Nicole, and today we are talking about the African explorer who helped shape America. Let's jump into it. So, when we talk about the exploration, of America, the same European names always come up. But today, we're talking about someone whose story was almost erased. Estevanico, also known as Esteban de Dorantes. He was an African man, enslaved, multilingual, and one of the first non-native people to explore the American Southwest. And his story, it's powerful. So, who was Esteban, Estevanico? I said Estevante. I'm mixing his names together. Estevanico was born in Azmor, Morocco, in the early 1500s. He was a Black African Muslim, who was enslaved by the Spanish and brought to America. He became part of the Narváez Expedition in about 1527. So he's about 27, 26 years old, which was supposed to be an exploring Florida and claiming land for Spain. The expedition, a complete disaster. So, the survival against all odds. Let's talk about that real quick. Out of more than 300 men, only 4 survived, and Estevanico was one of them. For nearly 8 years, Estevanico traveled across what is now known as Florida, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and northern Mexico. He didn't just survive, he adapted. He learned multiple indigenous languages, understood customs, and became a healer, a guide. Native tribes trusted him, often more than Spaniards. So let's talk about Estevanico's power and his influence. So Estevanico wasn't just tagging along. He was often sent ahead of the group to make contact with other tribes. He would wear bells and feathers and was seen as a spiritual figure by many indigenous communities. His knowledge of the land and people was completely unmatched. Without him, the Spanish would not have survived or mapped out vast parts of the Southwest. So let's talk about his death and his legacy. In 1539, Estevanico was sent ahead during an expedition searching for the mythical 7 cities of gold. He reached the Zuni Pueblo of Hawaku, where unfortunately he was killed. Reportedly, because of the Spanish demands and abuse tied to their early expeditions, is what unfortunately led to his untimely death. But his legacy remains. Estevanico is remembered as one of the first African explorers of the North America. He's also known as a bridge between African, European, and indigenous cultures. He is also proof that Black history is foundational, not supplemental. So in the end, when you think about Estevanico's story, remember that it reminds us the Black people were not just present at the beginning of America. We helped shape it. We helped mold it. And that is 100% why we tell these stories. That is why I tell these stories. Because our Black history is important history. It is the history. I have been your host, Tay Nicole, and this has been another inspiring episode of Let's Talk Black History. In the end, I would love for you guys to continue to follow this journey with me. If you've seen last week's episode, then you've seen me say we have an abundance of categories that we're going to go through. And in each category, I, your host, will chop down each segment for you. This was episode 1 of our 6 category segment series. You guys, do me a favor. Stay peaceful, stay blessed, and as always, stay Black, baby. Peace out.